You better stay down on the floor.
Really do not like to go in this meeting. Hey everyone, have a good time?
Please, why don't you sit over there?
Is there a cat
Morning,
here?
everyone. Is Dr. Kane not joining us?
She's currently occupied with an autopsy, I'm sure.
Where the hell is the cat?
Ah, I see. Let's get started then. After speaking with the good general of the past 4 weeks, I'm pleased to finally make all your acquaintances. I'm sure you all have questions about myself, the state of the Enclave as a whole, and about our next steps. Now, do understand that in the interests of national security, I can only say so much. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I am Henry Matthews, Senator representing the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. I was elected by your peers to this prestigious position after the untimely death of Senator Clark at this very base. I've been sent here at the President's behest to oversee your progress and to ensure the Commonwealth is brought back into the fold. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. Who is the president? I sorta lost track after eating.
Given recent events, the President's identity is classified. It's kept on a need-to-know basis. And my good man, you most certainly do not need to know. Nothing personal, you understand?
Where is High Command?
Sheesh.
Do we still have a central headquarters?
Well, I'm pleased to inform you that one of the Joint Chiefs is actually right here with you. General Ward was recently appointed chairman.
An honor, truly.
I'm sure it is. As for location of High Command, what I will say is we have shifted to more of a distributed structure.
Okay, where the fuck is that cat?
Our largest active facility is Mount Weather. Most of the personnel I brought with me was stationed there. How about you? Lieutenant, was it? Any questions from you?
He was just promoted to captain, actually.
A far more appropriate rank from what I've heard. So, any...
Well, I'd just like to say I'm finally getting the recognition I deserved. But other than that, what's the...
Forgive the intrusion, gentlemen. I have made a troublesome discovery.
What seems to be the problem, Doctor?
This autopsy, I was certain I would find a way to identify they were a synth. However, I was mistaken. If I didn't know any better, I'd have thought this was simply a vault dweller. It was only once I began the brain biopsy that it became clear it was a synth. There was a circuitry, a lot of it, embedded deep within the brain tissue. Central to it, in fact. It's the only telltale sign I could find. These Institute synths, I heard they were lifelike, but seeing one in person, it's both incredible and harrowing.
It's like I told you. There's no way of telling a synth apart from a human unless you kill it. That's why people fear the Institute.
Yes, Colonel, you made your point.
The Institute has been on our radar for a long time now. Our agents have looked into numerous Institute-related incidents in the past, but have never been able to pinpoint the Institute's location itself. With how little we know of them, there could very well be...
I just now realized. Why she came back to the oil rig?
Our biggest threat. I'll come back to this in a moment. Now that we have you, Dr. Kane, how has work on the FEV been going?
I've made some promising adjustments to the genetic markers it targets, but truthfully, progress is slow. We're struggling with the lab's power supply. There isn't enough to keep the FEV compound stable for more than a few seconds at a time. We can only run tests for a handful of seconds at a time, and only every few hours. Unless we have more power.
Myers, is there anything you can do about that?
Well, we could always shut down the factory. Like we did last time.
That's not an option.
Agreed.
Only other option is to upgrade the reactors. Which is easier said than done. Leave it with me. I'll think of something.
That's your priority now, Myers. See it done.
Good. So, to summarize our priorities, Chief Engineer Myers, get us more power. Dr. Kane, you keep working on the FEV. This comes directly from the President. Everyone else, It's about time we find a way into the Institute. We must know what we're dealing with once and for all. And I insist the captain spearhead this mission. They look like the type that get things done. Before I forget, Captain, I brought an exceptional doctor with me. You should have your medical with him in the first instance. Make sure you're at your best and all that. Now, I'll leave you to cross the T's and dot the I's. I will be in my office should anyone need me.
A word outside, Captain? I don't like him, but he's right. I guess we'd better get to work. Got any leads for getting into the Institute?
Fuck if I know, but I've been hearing about Diamond C.
Good luck, and stay safe.
Oh, welcome to my clinic. Let me just check my notes here. Ah, Captain. You must be here for your medical. No time like the present. Shall we get started?
Just skip over the shit that we don't need.
Wonderful. Let me just grab my pen. I'm just going to ask you a few straightforward questions, and I'd like you to answer them to the best of your ability. What age group do you fall under?
How many fucking years has it been? A lot.
Let me just note that down. Have you ever suffered from sustained exposure to radiation?
Do I look like I fucking put sunscreen on?
I see. We'll run a couple of tests afterwards and see what we're dealing with. Are you suffering from any long-term illnesses that I should be aware of?
Do you have eyes?
Wonderful. A fit and healthy soldier is the perfect role model for our troops. All that's left is for me to take a blood sample, and we'll be done. Just a moment. And we're done. Thank you for your time. Now, was there anything else I could help you with?
How is your life here?
Not bad, thank you. Considering this is an offshore platform, I was expecting a lot less, but I've got to say the facilities are top-notch. Between you and me, I'm surprised the leadership left this base to rot for as long as it did.
So, how did you become a doctor?
Oh, you don't want to hear me ramble on about that, do you? I'll try and keep it short. I was born and brought up at our outpost in Chicago. Chicago was unpleasant. Vicious mutants, rebels, radiation storms.
Nothing has
As you
changed.
can imagine, our personnel suffered a high attrition rate, so I was destined to train as medical staff. My training went well, I should say. The years passed, and eventually Chicago became untenable, and Mount Weather over in Virginia needed medical staff, so I transferred about 5 years ago. It was quite uneventful, really. Occasionally treating wounded troops back from patrol, sometimes testing some new medication. I yearned for change, and once I heard they were restaffing this facility, I jumped at the chance and applied for transfer. Now, here I am.
Did you think it was going to be hard living here?
I thought it would be, but no. In fact, it's been a breath of fresh air. Mount Weather is a large enough facility, but it's so rudimentary. Here, everything is at my fingertips, and the unsavory types are hundreds of miles away from me.
Ah, the food court. I got restocked, didn't it? Yeah. Alright, let me check out that secret recipe. And what even is this? Okay, I'm gonna eat this. Tastes like chicken.